Today we'll be looking at UTME Use of English. Every year, thousands of students lose valuable marks in UTME Use of English, not because the questions are too difficult, but because they don't know the right strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you the simple but powerful tips that will enable you to score very high in your UTME English. So, if you are preparing for UTME and you want to boost your total score, this video is meant for you. Make sure you watch to the end, because at the end you will see a particular tip that will have made some people to score extra marks, but they normally lose it. So watch from the beginning to the end. Now, we are going to look at the specific areas where the questions will be coming from. One of them is comprehension. Another one is Lexis and Structure. We have vocabulary, synonyms and antonyms, sentence completion, sentence interpretation. They are all under Lexis and Structure. And then we have oral English, the grammar rules, that is Concord, and then question tags, then your novel. And the novel this year is the Lekki Headmaster by Kabe Alabigalba. Now let's take them one by one and see the tips that will help us to answer all these questions correctly. So let's start with comprehension. If you want to write on comprehension, please do not start by reading the passage line by line or word to word. What you need to do is to read the questions first, understand the questions, then you can scan the text for answers. Look for keywords. The reason is because it will help to save your time and it will make you to remain focused. Okay? Then when it comes to Lexis and Structure, under you have vocabulary. We have register secret. What is that secret? Your vocabulary or your register will be based on specific fields. What are those fields? We have field of medicine, law, sports, technology, agriculture, and so on. So in all these fields, try to master the vocabularies they use there. For example, when it comes to law, you should know the difference between plaintiff and defendant. You should know what is verdict and so on. The same thing applies to sports, agriculture, and other things. Now, what will help you under this vocabulary is to acquire more words each day. Make sure you have a word that is new each day. How do you acquire them? By reading. Read your newspapers, read your storybooks, read academic materials, and use your dictionary. As you come across new words, please make sure you put it down. Learn how to use it every day. Now, when it comes to synonyms and antonyms, please, I want you to use context clue. What do I mean by context clue? I mean the sentences. Don't just look at the words. I know you know what we mean by synonyms and antonyms. That is, synonym is nearest in meaning, antonyms is opposite in meaning. So don't just look at the word given to you. Look at the sentence. The sentence can define difficult words. What do I mean by that? You may come across some words you don't even know their meaning. But looking at the sentence closely will help you to know the right answer. So don't forget context clue. Okay, then we also have sentence completion. Sometimes they will give you a sentence and ask you to choose words that we use to complete it. Still, that context will help you. Then sentence interpretation. In sentence interpretation, what is required? You will be given a sentence. That sentence may contain idiomatic expressions or maybe proverbs. Then you are required to give the meaning. Let's take for example, look at this sentence. When Musa heard that he passed the examination, he was on cloud 9. What do we mean by cloud 9? He was on cloud 9. Now, you may be given options like he was confused, he was tired, he was very happy. Which one will you take? Or he was very sad or very angry. Which one will you take? With that particular sentence or content, you will be able to interpret it. Of course, he will be very happy. Why? Because he passed the exam. Will he be angry or tired because he passed the exam? So look at the clues. It will help you. Then oral English. Many students ignore oral English. Well, please don't ignore it. It's very important. What are you expected under oral English? One of them is the vowel sounds, know the monotones and diphthongs. In fact, I have them in this channel. You can go back to them. And then the consonants. Another thing you are expected is stress. You should know the stress patterns, especially the primary stress, where you are supposed to stress. You should know it. I have a video on it. In that video, I gave some rules. Apart from rules, I also gave some acronyms that will help you to know where to stress a particular word. Please, I will encourage you to go back to that video on stress. You will learn, very simple, you will learn how to do it. Okay, we also have emphatic stress. Emphatic stress is not too difficult. What is expected? A sentence will be given to you, and we also call it contrastive stress. One particular word will be stressed using capital letter. How do you know the answer? For example, my father is a teacher. Now, my father is emphasized. The correct answer will be the sentences that do not contain anything that has to do with father. It may contain other things, but you will see that others, either they make reference or they say it exactly, father there. But in this particular answer, you will not see father there, and you will not see any word that will make reference to the father. That means that is the answer. You should master that one too. Then we have grammar rules. That is concord. We call it subject-verb agreement. There are so many rules there that you need to master. One of them is that when the subject is singular, the verb will be singular. For example, if I give you something like, he walks to school every day. See, we have only one person here, he. Then we have to use the verb that has s, because that is the verb that is singular verb. So in this sentence, if you say he walked to school every day, it's wrong. It should be walks. The same thing applies to plural. Plural subject takes plural verb. So if I use they here, if I use they, this one will change to walk. They walk to school every day. Remember, in present tense, but in past tense, you use the same verb, walked. Do you understand? Right. So we have other rules like the use of either or, neither nor. When do we use either or neither nor? When do we use present singular verb or plural verb? When you are using either or neither nor. Please, the subject that is closer to the verb will determine whether the verb will be singular or plural. What do I mean? Look at this example. The teacher and the students. Okay, either the teacher, let's put it this way. Either the teacher or the students. So what do we use? Is it is or are here? Since this one is plural, students, and is closer to the verb, you have to take the one that is plural, which is are. Either the teacher or the students are here. So the answer is supposed to be are. But what if I put it the other way? Maybe either the teachers or the students. It will be is. It will be is. Is here. Why? Because the subject closer to the verb is one person. Is singular. Okay? The same thing applies to neither nor. If I say neither the teachers nor the students, it will still be are. Neither the teacher or neither the teachers or the students, it will be is. That is neither. So both of them are used in the same way. What of the use of all these pronouns, definite pronouns like every, everyone, everywhere? If you use something like someone, something, all those ones you use singular verb. You say everyone is, everywhere is, something is, someone is. That is how to use those indefinite pronouns. You should know them very well. They are not difficult to use. Then we also go to question tags. Question tags have their own rule. What is the rule? If you have positive statements, then the tag will be negative. Then if you have negative statement, the tag will be positive. What do we mean by negative statement? Negative statement has to do with not. When you have not in a sentence, he came. If I say something like he came to school today, then the tag will be didn't he. Why didn't? Because he came to school is a positive statement. So in your tag there must be negative there. That's why I use didn't. And why did I also use didn't? Because the question is in past tense and we don't have any auxiliary verb in that sentence. But if I say something like he doesn't come to school, he doesn't come to school. Okay, let's say he comes to school. Let's put it this way. He comes to school every day. What will be the tag? He comes is also positive. The tag will be doesn't he. So you see the difference now. The first one is came, we use didn't, and this one is comes, which is regular, we use doesn't he. Okay, what if you use negative in the sentence? Okay, like he cannot eat rice. Cannot, there is negative there. The positive is can he. You don't put can't he again because there is not in your statement. So in tag, don't put not again. Can he? That is how to answer it. Master it is not even difficult. Then the next one is mastering 2026 novel for the year. Remember, it has been changed. The new novel now is the Lekki Headmaster by Kabir Alabigaba. Now, in this novel, you don't just read the novel, maybe master the storyline. No, there are certain things you need to know. One of them is character mapping. What do we mean by that? You need to know the names of characters. You should also know their roles. That is what we call characterization. You should know the names and their roles, even the relationship of the minor characters. Then another one is thematic analysis. JAMB loves asking questions on the message of the novel. So you must know the message of the novel. The message could be integrity, education, social challenges. You should know it because they will ask you. Then another one is key quotes. As you are reading, please keep your jotter and pen close to you so that if you see any important quote there, you write it down and the person that said it, because they will ask you questions on it. So you should be careful when you are reading it. Don't just concentrate on the storyline, that is the plot. The characters and the theme is also important, and then key quotes. In fact, in my next video, I will try to summarize this Lekki Headmaster and give you likely questions for you to know it. Please, or to be part of it, please, you need to subscribe and keep your notification open so that immediately it's posted, you will be able to see it. Then we have other tips. One of them is time management. Please, don't waste too much time on just one question. Don't waste too much time. In your use of English, the questions are 60. But if you master the secret of using just 30 or 35 minutes to answer the question, it will enable you to answer other questions. Some top scorers, what they do is they will go to the easy questions, the questions that are not difficult. They will quickly do them and now come to the most difficult ones, or the difficult ones like comprehension. Don't start with comprehension. You can start with the easiest one like grammar, your oral English, and then you come back to comprehension. It helps. So manage your time. Don't spend too much time on just one question. Then we also have common pitfalls to avoid, and one of them is slang versus formal English. JAMB is testing you on standard British English. So sometimes you will see options that ordinarily may be correct, but they are slangs or maybe pidgin. Don't choose them. Look for standard English, because that is what they are testing you on. So it's a pitfall that some people usually don't know how to avoid. Please, you should know the difference between standard English and then pidgin or informal English or slang. Please. Then another one is overthinking. What do we mean by overthinking? When you continue on one question. In fact, sometimes these antonyms and synonyms, when you see it at a glance, you will see the question. Why not pick it and continue? But some will stay there, continue to compare and contrast. Before you know that, what happens, they will become confused and they will waste a lot of time there. Don't overthink. If that one will give you a problem, leave it and go to the next one. Continue until when you are through, you can come back to the ones that you feel that you've not gotten the answer. Then another pitfall is not reading the questions carefully. It will cost you marks, because if you don't read carefully, you won't get the right answer. Then another pitfall is guessing without understanding the options. As you guess, carry along with you the options there. It will help you. Like I said, context clue. The sentence there will help you. Then you also look at the options to help you to get to the right answer. Okay, so when you guess, go with the options too, and don't spend too much time there. Another tip that will help you is to practice past questions. Why will you practice past questions? If you practice past questions, it will help you to know the sentence, the patterns of questions or question patterns. That is one. Another one is that it will help you to identify common repeated topics. As you are reading your past questions, you will see some common repeated practice. It will help you also to improve your speed and accuracy. So it's very, very important. If you don't have past questions, go and get one now, because it will go a long way to assist you in boosting your marks. The last one is practice mock test. Now, don't say I don't need it. Please, you need mock test. Why do you need it? Mock test will help you to avoid fear or tension during the exam. That is one. It will help you to improve your use of time. That is another one. It will instill in you the confidence that you're supposed to have when you are entering that exam. So please, don't ignore mock test. Now, to end it, remember, take your use of English seriously. because that is the only subject that is compulsory for each and every one of you in exam. So if you pay more attention to it, you will boost your score up to 300 plus. It is easy to get it up to 300 plus when you know the right strategy, as I've discussed with you. Now, like I said before, in my next video, I will summarize the Lekki Headmaster and give you likely questions that you will be able to answer. Please remember to subscribe, put your notification on so that you will be able to get it when it's posted. Thank you very much.